Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, my name is Sharfina Ramadhany and from Kasi. In this video, I want to answer a question from the Twin Tower Science Integration course. Okay, let's start. For the chapter 1, Concept of Integration in Islam Knowledge. The answer from the question is Surah Al-Hujurat verse 13 emphasizes diversity as a means of mutual understanding. This supports integration by encouraging inclusive, interdisciplinary knowledge. Next, Surah Al-Mulk verse 2 highlights life as a task and implies to need to use knowledge responsibility in understanding the universe. Next, on Surah Al-Alaq verse 1 until 5 was the first revelation, calling humans to read and acquire knowledge. Its significance is defined encouragement of intellectual pursuit. And next, the hadith, seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim. Sunan Ibn Majah promotes universal education in both religious and worldly science. For chapter 2, Islamic architecture principles and the Twin Towers. The answer is Surah Al-Baqarah verse 22 presents the earth as a stable base on the sky as a canopy, guiding principle for architectural planning and harmony. And next, the hadith, Allah is beautiful and loves beauty, encourages building structures that are aesthetically pleasing and functional. And for the third, Surah Al-Anfal verse 60 relates to strength and perpetuation, symbolized in architecture by structural durability and collective identify values response in the Twin Towers. And next, Surah Al-Imran verse 133 speaks of balance and speed towards good deeds, interpret architecturally as balance in sign and purpose. Next, for chapter 3, technology and the Islamic principle of stewardship Khalifah. The answer is Surah Al-Baqarah verse 30 identifies humans as gods, face currents, processing knowledge and responsibility to manage the earth wisely. And the next, Surah Al-Isra verse 70 mentions human honor and capacity to travel by land and sea, highlighting technology as a gift to benefit humanity. And next, Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 32 emphasizes the sanctity of life, guiding ethical boundaries in using technology. And the last is the Prophet encouraged innovation and acquiring beneficial knowledge, showing openness to scientific and technology advancement. And the next, for chapter 4, mathematics in the Islamic perspective. The answer is Surah Al-Imran verse 190 invites revelation on the creation of the heavens and earth, encouraging scientific and mathematical reasoning. And next is Surah An-Nahl verse 12 discuss the sun and moon for measuring time, showing practical use of number in daily life. The next is Al-Mujadilah verse 11 states that Allah elevates those who seek knowledge, including mathematical skills. And the last is the hadith, he who guides to a good deed in like the one who does it. Sahih Muslim supports teaching mathematics as a valuable reward-worthy act. Next, for the chapter 5, biology in the light of Islam. The answer is Surah Al-An'am verse 38 asserts all creatures are communities like humans, promoting respect for biodiversity. And the next is Surah Al-Baqarah verse 164 points to the sign of Allah in creation, rain, plants, and animals as subjects for reflection and study. And the next is Surah Al-Ma'idah verse 88 instruct Muslims to become what is lawful and good, linking biology to nutrition and health. And the last is the Prophet to care for nature, such as watering animals and planting trees, and part of faith. Next, for chapter 6, the sea in the context of creation. Surah Al-Furqan verse 53 speaks of the two seas, one fresh and palatable, the other salty and bitter, flowing side by side with a barrier between them that they do not transgress. This reflects God's power in maintaining balance in creation. And the second, this verse symbolizes the divine regulation in natural ecosystem and the importance of preserving that balance. And the third, the sea is a source of sustenance, as also mentioned in Surah An-Naml verse 61 and Al-Baqarah verse 164, where the sea is present as a sign of Allah's mercy and a means of livelihood and reflection for humans. And the last is a hadith from the model emphasizes that the sea is pure and purifying and the Prophet for the pollution, underscoring Islamic teaching on marine conservation. Next for chapter 7, Sacred Space and Islamic Architecture. The answer for the first question is Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 125, refers to the Kaaba as a place of safety and prayer, laying the foundation for such architectural principle. And the second is Al-Hadid, verse 25, mentions the rule of justice and balance in society, which can be reflected in architectural harmony. And the third is Surah Al-Isra, verse 17, reminds us that humans are honored creations, hence space built for them must uphold dignity, as exemplified in mosques. And the last is the Prophet Muhammad's Masjid Nabawi was simple yet functional, teaching us that a church space emphasizes purpose over luxury, aligning with Islamic values. And next for chapter 8, Information System in Islam. The answer for the first question is Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 282, command that accurate documentation of transactions, which form the basis of Islamic data integrity. And the next for second question is Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 12, is condemns suspicion, spying, and gossip, promoting ethical information use. And the next is Surah Al-Mujadilah, verse 11, highlights the importance of knowledge and raising the ranks of those who are informed. And the last for chapter 8 is the hadith from Abdullah bin Mas'ud states, truthfulness leads to righteousness and righteousness leads to paradise. Bukhari and Muslim, teaching that honesty in communication is vital. And the next for chapter 9, Environment and Sustainability in Islam. The answer for question 1 is Surah Al-Anfal, verse 60, while speaking of strength, implies preparedness and protection, which can be extended to environmental stewardship. And the next is Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 164, reveals Allah's signs in nature, clothes, rain, and life on earth. And the next Surah Al-A'raf, verse 31, warns against excess, reinforcing sustainable resource usage. And the last is Prophet Muhammad SAW said, if a Muslim plants a tree and a bird, human or animal eat from it, it's a charity. Hadith riwayat Bukhari. This promotes green living and eco-friendly action. And the last chapter is chapter 10, Integration of Religion and Science. The answer for question 1 is Surah Al-Mujadilah, verse 11, uplifts those who seek knowledge, showing that Islamic values support scientific learning. And the second question is Az-Zumar, verse 9, asks, are those who know equal to those who do not know, highlighting the virtue of scholars. And next is Surah Al-Imran, verse 7, distinguishes between clear and allegorical verse, encouraging interpretation and deeper inquiry, a basis for scientific exploration. And the last is Hadith, seeking knowledge and obligation, applies not only to religious but also scientific fields, as long as the intention is to benefit humanity. Okay friends, that's all for my answer. Thank you for watching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.